Good evening and welcome to Kenya News Update today. I'm your host, and we're diving deep into a story that has hundreds of thousands of students and their families across the nation on edge. The Kenya National Examinations Council, KNEC, has just issued a critical update on the release of the 2025 Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education, KCSE, examination result slips. This announcement, made on Saturday, February 14th, 2026, outlines the distribution process and how schools can collect these vital documents. But behind this administrative notice lies a complex story of logistics, high stakes, and national anxiety. Tonight, we'll unpack what this update really means, examine the immense pressure on KNEC, and debate whether the system is truly serving our students. We'll be joined by perspectives from education experts, school principals, and parents. First, let's establish the scale of this operation. The 2025 KCSE examination was a massive undertaking. According to KNEC's own pre-exam data, a total of 903,260 candidates registered to sit for the exams across 10,413 examination centers nationwide. That's nearly 1 million young Kenyans whose futures hinge on these results. The logistical challenge of printing, securing, and distributing result slips for each of these candidates is staggering. KNEC has stated that the printing and packaging process for the 2025 slips was completed on February 10, 2026, after a verification period that lasted from January 20th to February 5th. The council has allocated a budget of 1.2 billion shillings specifically for the post-examination processing, which includes printing, security, and distribution. This comes after the main examination administration, which itself cost an estimated 4.7 billion shillings. Now, let's break down the new distribution protocol as outlined in Saturday's statement. KNEC has announced a phased, centralized collection system. All secondary school principals, or their officially designated representatives, are required to collect the result slips in person from their respective county education offices. The collection window is strictly from Monday, February 16th, to Friday, February 20th, 2026. That's a 5-day window to distribute nearly 1 million documents. Principals must present 2 forms of identification, their original national ID and an official letter of introduction from their school's Board of Management, stamped and signed by the chairperson. Furthermore, they must sign a detailed acknowledgement form upon receipt. KNEC has emphasized that under no circumstances will result slips be released to parents, guardians, or students directly at this stage. This rigid structure is designed to maintain a chain of custody and prevent leaks or tampering. But is this the most efficient system? We have 2 distinct viewpoints on this. Joining us first is Dr. Evelyn Mwangi, an educational policy analyst. Dr. Mwangi, what's your take on this centralized, principal-only collection model? Dr. Mwangi, thank you for having me. In principle, the model has merit. It centralizes accountability. The principal is the legally responsible head of the institution. By making them the sole collection point, KNEC creates a clear audit trail. If a result slip is altered or goes missing after collection, the responsibility rests squarely with the school administration. This is crucial for maintaining the integrity of what is arguably the most important academic document in a young Kenyan's life. The security protocols, the ID requirements, they are all necessary. You must remember the scandals of the past, where results were allegedly accessed prematurely or altered. This system is a direct response to that. However, my concern lies in the practical execution. A 5-day window for over 10,000 principals to collect documents? The queues at some county offices will be immense. What about principals from remote schools who must travel long distances? The cost and time burden placed on schools, which are already financially strained, is significant. KNEC could have explored a more decentralized model, perhaps involving sub-county directors to reduce travel congestion. Host, a compelling point about the logistical strain. Now, let's hear a contrasting perspective from Mr. Silas Omondi, the principal of a large public school in Western Kenya. Mr. Omondi, you're on the front lines of this process. What are your practical concerns? Mr. Omondi, good evening. Dr. Mwangi speaks of accountability, and I accept that duty. But this process feels like it was designed in an office in Nairobi, far from our reality. I represent a school with 412 KCSE candidates. I must close my school for at least a full day, possibly 2, to travel to the county headquarters, navigate the bureaucracy, and return. Who supervises the school in my absence? Who pays for my transport and accommodation if I need to stay overnight? The letter from the board chair? That requires another trip to find him. This is not just an inconvenience, it's an unfunded mandate that disrupts learning for the other 1,200 students in my school. Furthermore, the pressure once I have those slips is immense. Parents will be camping at my office from the moment I return. The anxiety, the demands for early release, the potential for conflict, it all lands on me. Why can't we have a secure digital release to students via a personalized portal, backed by the principal's physical copy for verification? We are in 2026, not 1996. Host, the digital versus physical debate is a critical one. Mr. Omondi raises the issue of cost. Let's visualize the financial scale of this physical distribution. According to estimates from the Kenya Secondary School Heads Association, the average cost for a principal to make this county collection trip is 15,000 shillings. This includes transport, meals, and potentially lost time. If we multiply that by the 10,413 secondary schools, we're looking at a hidden cost to the education sector of over 156 million shillings. This is a cost borne by the schools themselves, not KNEC's budget. Now, let's look at the human resource element. KNEC has deployed 120 personnel specifically to manage the county-level distribution. These officers are tasked with verifying identities, managing queues, and ensuring the signed handover. They work alongside 47 county directors of education. This means, on average, each distribution point has a team of about 3 to 4 KNEC staff to handle hundreds of principals. The potential for bottlenecks is clear. Beyond the logistics, we must consider the emotional and psychological weight of this moment. For the 903,260 candidates, these result slips are a key that unlocks or locks shut pathways to university, tertiary colleges, and employment. The university placement cutoff points, released by the Kenya Universities and Colleges Central Placement Service, are directly tied to these results. In 2024, only about 22% of candidates attain the minimum university entry grade of C+. The competition is fierce. The anxiety is not just about passing, it's about scoring highly enough to secure a coveted government-sponsored slot in a desired degree program. The pressure on KNEC to be flawless is therefore immense. A single error in a result slip can derail a life's trajectory. This is why the verification period from January 20th to February 5th was so critical. During this 17-day window, a team of 350 examiners and subject specialists reviewed borderline cases, addressed queries, and ensured mark accuracy. But what happens if a student or school disputes a result after collection? The process is arduous. They must apply for a remarking or verification of marks through the principal, paying a fee of 1,000 shillings per paper. The process can take up to 30 days. In the meantime, university placement deadlines may pass. This creates a terrible dilemma for families. Do they spend limited funds on a remarking that may not change the grade, or do they accept the result and explore other, often more expensive, options? The system, in its quest for security and order, can feel incredibly rigid and unforgiving to the individual. Let's also place this in a broader political context. Education remains a top-tier issue for the government of President William Ruto. His administration has championed the competency-based curriculum and emphasized technical training. The performance in the KCSE, particularly in STEM subjects, is seen as a key metric of policy success. A smooth, scandal-free results release is politically vital. Any hint of discrepancy or unfairness could trigger significant public backlash. Furthermore, the global context matters. In an increasingly digital world, where other nations are moving to instantaneous, secure online results, Kenya's reliance on a physical, principal-mediated system may be viewed as anachronistic. It affects our competitiveness. A student in another country might have their results verified digitally within hours of finalization, allowing them to instantly apply to international universities. Our student may wait weeks for the physical slip to trickle down through the system. This time lag is a disadvantage. So, what is the way forward? We need a balanced debate. Proponents of the current system argue that its physical, accountable nature is its greatest strength in a context where digital infrastructure and literacy are not yet universal. They point to the risk of digital exclusion for students in rural areas without reliable internet or devices. They also highlight cybersecurity threats. A centralized digital database of national exam results would be a prime target for hackers. The physical slip, they argue, is a tangible, hard-to-hack backup. Opponents, however, see a system clinging to the past. They argue for a hybrid model, a secure digital portal for students to access their results using unique credentials, released simultaneously to all, with the physical slip serving as an official backup for those who need it. This would decouple the result from the distribution bottleneck, reduce anxiety by providing instant access, and maintain the principal's role in official verification and guidance. The cost savings from reduced logistics could be reinvested in strengthening the digital platform and cybersecurity. As we conclude, the KNEC update is more than just an administrative memo. It is a window into the immense, high-stakes machinery of national assessment. It involves 903,260 dreams, a budget of billions, thousands of officials, and a nation watching. The debate between ironclad security and efficient, modern access is not easily resolved. But one thing is certain, as Kenya progresses, this system must evolve to serve its primary stakeholders, the students with both integrity and agility. The collection begins tomorrow. The countdown for nearly 1 million families is almost over. We will be following the process closely. For Kenya News Update Today, I'm your host. Subscribe to Kenya News Update Today.